Of course, we've discussed it a lot over the last few weeks. Some of those big names moving to Saudi Arabia. A couple were confirmed today. Jordan Henderson will be making the move. Riyad Mahrez as well. It just joins a long list of players who are making that move. Benzema, of course, gone. Firmino gone. Sadio Mane looks like he is going to go as well. In case you missed it, yesterday, Joan Laporta, the Barcelona president, was in the studio, and I asked him about whether or not this was bad for football.
Well, that are crazy deals. For me, I understand that Saudi Arabia want to promote the Pro League, the Saudi, but with all respect, I respect their decisions, but I think that there is another ways to improve the football in Saudi because they did very well in the World Cup. They are very talented players. But you know, it's not enough. Football is a team sport. It's not, you know, an individual sport. It's not tennis. Football is a team. Yeah. And of course, that for publicity is fantastic. But yes, in order to improve the quality of football there, to me, I have my doubts.
Do you think it's a problem for football?
No, a problem no, because you know, football is the most popular sport in the world, and there is a country that has enough power in order to invest in football, and they invest in players, in specific players. To me, this is good for the publicity, but there is another ways to improve the quality of football in this country. How affecting the rest of the leagues, and I think that if Saudi, they want to be in 4 or 5 years in the top 5 leagues in the world, is perfect. You know, we will compete probably, but in this moment still the players prefer a sporting proposal than the big players prefer a sporting proposal than a financial proposal.
Do you agree, Frank? Do you think that maybe they're going about it the wrong way? If you want to grow a league, you've got to grow it within the country as opposed to just getting these big names over?
Well, it's more complicated than that. I think it's nice to put the spotlights on the country who wants to develop in football. Having names is always nice. Yeah, it's been proven that having big names at the end of their career doesn't bring anything. We saw that with Japan. We saw that with Qatar, and I was one of them. We saw that with even the United States, and now we're seeing that with Saudi Arabia. I think Mr. Laporta forgot one thing: tradition, culture. That's what it is. And the key for me of developing football is to create a real culture. We can see in the States where the culture is more about American football, about baseball, basketball, but football or soccer has a hard time to develop himself and to be shown as the best sport in the world. So it's hard to when you don't have that culture, that tradition, to really be at the top of it and be quickly at the top of it. We live in a dictatorship of emergency, and we see that Saudi Arabia doesn't want to waste any time, but they will have to get the time to be better and to make sure that the youth are there to carry on the tradition that they want to be put in.
Takes time, Robbo.
It does, and Frank's absolutely right. You've got to start getting better coaches. If you're going to spend a lot of money, get the best coaches from around the world.
We've got Steven Gerrard.
I'm talking about coaching the youth teams, the youth players, building a culture, making the youth team players much, much better, and making sure they get the right philosophies, the right coaching, and then still spend money on some of the big players. It will go together.
You putting yourself out there, Robbo?
No. This is too good for me.
Oh, what? ESPN with Kieran and me on Friday.
Being next to you on a Friday.
Yeah, that's a dream. Riyad Mahrez, of course, one of them. Did he ever put you on the floor, Kieran?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Not something that I would want to remember, but yeah.
When he was at his pomp, it must have been so difficult to go up against someone like that.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, slightly off subject, but City need to replace him.
Right.
Because he's come up with big numbers, and he's put in big performances at the right times for City over the last few years.
And you say at his pomp. I think he's still at his pomp. He's still producing great performances. He scored a hat-trick in the FA Cup semi-final, brilliant hat-trick. He's still a top-class player, no doubt about that.
Yeah. Are you a fan, Frank?
I am. I saw him playing when he was young, and I saw him developing, in England. And in fact, I feel sad because he's only 32. I think he would have been able to play 2, 3, maybe 4 more years at the top of the top. But I understand. I always say that we never judge a player over 30 if he decides to go to secure his family and siblings. So I'm just sad, but the guy was, because now we can talk about the past, because again he's going for lower league. He was one of the best players at this position in the world.